is... there I am.
Hello.
Hi. Hold on. I got to mute this so I don't get echo. I'm looking at you from my phone. All right. Put this up here. All right. So you guys can see me, right?
Yeah, you're right in the middle.
Okay, good. Because for some reason my computer video won't work, but my phone video works.
Are you at home?
I am. We came home tonight.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it didn't look like any hospital stuff in the background.
No. We're home and my own smells, my own room, my own bed. It's going to be amazing. I pumped in the car on the way home and I should be good to go.
When's Rafi's surgery?
They have not scheduled it yet. So I talked to the cardiologist today because we got a second opinion from Boston Children's Hospital because they have the best cardiovascular clinic and surgical program in the nation.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah. And so I was like, and I know that they work and they've done surgeries on babies with trisomy 18. And they're one of the few hospitals that actually do surgical interventions for these kiddos. So I talked with our cardiologist today, and the surgeon won't even come and see us until he hits 6 kilos. So he's at like almost 5.4 now. 5.4 if you round it up. He's at 5.385. So they'll do the procedure. They're like, well, you know, there's risks. And I'm like, there's risks with any kind of open heart surgery. So we want to, you know, he needs this surgery, basically. You know, he's on all these medications, all these heart meds. I'm like, he needs this medication. So hopefully in the next few weeks, we'll get like a actual date set up.
Do you have to go to Boston to meet this guy, or?
Nope, he sent us his recommendations and we got the second opinion. We sent all of Raphael's records over, so he already sent everything. But if we did decide that we wanted to go to Boston and do the surgery, we would get discharged and then go out there. So I'm glad that they'll do it here, but I just was like, I want the best for Raphael. I want the best doctors. I want the best care. So I was like, let's make sure that you're ready to give it. Because if you're not willing to do this, even do the procedure, then we're going to go somewhere else it is, you know? Mm-hmm. So that's that. But I was like, hey, I miss my buddy. It'll be nice when he's home. All right. So while we're waiting on some more people to hop in, I see Monica's here. Hey, girl. Hey, I didn't listen to your message yet because my husband was listening to something in the car and my Bluetooth was on, so I didn't get a chance to listen to it. So I will listen to it and get back to you. All right, everybody got
something. I was muted.
Oh no, that's okay.
Go ahead, Ro.
All right. I thought Erin was here. I know she's
here.
Oh, she is? Okay. She was at a church meeting.
Lauren's here.
All right, perfect. Well, I'm going to get started, and then as people jump, we'll just let them jump in, and I'll kind of go over everything. It's recorded, so I'll make sure that I upload it. So if you guys want to go back, that'll be good for anyone, because it's always good info to kind of go back and look over if you have any questions. Okay. So you guys all have a pen, a notebook. If you have a planner, I got my brilliant life planner with my calendar and stuff in it. If you got that, make sure you got that. And we're in the last full week of April already, you guys. Yeah, it is absolutely crazy. All right, so let's jump in and get started. I'm gonna grab my pencil here. All right, so this whole workshop is how to create a sustainable schedule for your business so that you're working your business and you're attending to the most important things in your life, right? Like your marriage, family, all those things that are really important so that you don't feel like all I do is work the biz and you feel burnt out, you feel drained, there's no fun in it, and you're like, I'm done, right? That's the quickest way to get burnt out in this business. I'm going to mute everyone. Okay. But feel free to use the chat box. And if you have questions, just unmute yourself and ask questions. But this is going to be kind of like a workshop. So I'm going to kind of pause it and have you guys do a couple things. So we'll be planning together. So it'll be really hands-on. So really what I wanted to start with is just saying that planning out your week will help you not feel burnt out, like I was saying. It'll help you really get intentional and focused with your business. No matter where you're at, whether you want to work your business part-time, whether you want to work your business full-time and create a sustainable income, you got big goals for that. Wherever you want, this creating a schedule is going to help for you because it'll help you set intention, it'll help you focus on your goals, and it'll help you make sure you're keeping the main thing. I'm reading High Performance Habits, so I'm listening to it. And that was one of like the really big things that was hammered down that I really got was like making the main thing the main thing. Really focusing on your why, focusing on your goals, but not feeling like you're spinning your wheels just to get there. And doing those things that aren't getting you to your goals, like just mindlessly scrolling through Facebook, making sure that whatever you're doing for the business, you're doing it with focus and intention, because that is what is going to blow your business up. Okay. So there's just like 4 real main points that we're going to do in this workshop, but we're going to take time to do it. So it should only take us about an hour to do this, depending on how quick everybody does it. But it's going to be really action oriented because I want you guys to feel comfortable planning and knowing exactly what you're going to do when you're looking at your week. So this kind of schedule is something that I did when I was working full time. As you guys may or may not know, I'll kind of just introduce myself for those who don't know me and may watch this later. I'm Amanda. I am now a full-time Beachbody coach, but I started off working the business when I was working full-time in the community for a community mental health agency. And so I worked 40 hours a week plus. When I did wraparound, I worked more than 40 hours a week. I was stressed out. I was tired. I didn't have a set schedule. It all depended on what my classes were when I was teaching. So I had to really try to work my business around my life. And so one of the things that helped me be successful and hit Success Club the entire time I worked full time was setting up like a systems. And it was something that I learned from another coach, and I implemented and I kind of tweaked it to make it my own. And so I was like, I think it would be really helpful for a lot of people because we're busy, right? And you can work this business part-time and still be successful. And so as we go through this workshop, I want you kind of just keep in mind this. I'm going to kind of just specify it for someone who's either working full-time or someone who's maybe working the business part-time. And then if your goal, like say you're a stay-at-home mom or say that, you have more time to work the business, then you're going to add on to these power pockets as you guys see fit. So it'll be up to your schedule, but I'm just going to do kind of a basic, rundown, how to set up your power pockets, how to set up your schedule. If you have any questions, feel free to kind of just, stop me and ask, because I really want you guys to be involved. So everyone get your calendars out. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take things 1 week at a time. And so my planner has a month, and then it also breaks down into weeks at a time. So here's April 30th. So here's kind of like my weekly schedule, and it's blank right now. So I want you to look through, and if you don't have a calendar, that's okay. Just write on a piece of paper, Monday through Sunday. Just a general week, Monday through Sunday. And I want you to look and I want you to plan out the times in your schedule that you are committed to something. So maybe you work a full-time job. I want you to kind of block out those times when you're working. If you are working your full-time job and maybe you don't have time to sit and work the business, block all that time out. Just block it out right now. If you have time where you take your kids to school, if you have time where there's kids like school functions, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you take them to sports, maybe you drive your kids to school, maybe you have family time together that's designated every day or once a week, date nights, time with your husband, things like that. Those are your committed times. Those are the times that are non-negotiable, that are important for you to do. I want you to take 5 minutes and I want you to go through your week and I want you to write down those things and plan out those committed times. All right, so I'm going to give you 5 minutes. It's 7:44 right now. So I want you to take about 5 minutes and just kind of block those times out on your schedule. And for those who commute or take your kids somewhere, I want you to take into consideration the time that it takes for you to drive, right? To drive to work, to drive to take the kids somewhere and do that. All right, 5 minutes, go. And I don't have music, so it'll be an awkward silence. But if you have any questions, feel free to pop in and ask questions. If you're done, shout out in the chat box that you're done. Nope, Sandra, you're going to do 1 week and put the time that you already have obligations. Yes. Got about 1 more minute left. All right, Lauren's done, Monica's done. Sandra's done. All right, so you got your committed times. You got your times where you're like, look, I already got obligations. These are non-negotiables. I can't miss this, right? You got those in your calendar. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to schedule your workouts in your calendar along with your meal prep, your meal planning, and personal development. Okay? And I'm going to tell you, here's just like a couple reasons why it's important to put these on your calendar. First, if we are not filling our own cups as coaches, as women, as moms, as wives, if we're not filling our own cup, then we are not going to be of any benefit to anybody else. We have to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves first before we can help anybody else. And it's so true when it comes to being confident in talking to people, right? And having conversations with your prospective customers, right? With your prospects, is you have to feel confident. That's your personal development. You got to get your workout in. You got to get your meal prep. That's one thing that we talk about over and over in our challenge groups. Those are the things that have helped you transform your own lives. That's what's going to help you give the confidence to talk to somebody else. And it's one of our vital behaviors. As a Beachbody coach, our vital behavior is being a product of the product, right? That's like the number one vital behavior, is being a product of the product. So we have to make sure that we have to be committed to taking care of ourselves before we can even try to help somebody else get committed with their own lives, okay? So take like 3 minutes. It's 7:50, and I want you to put those workout blocks in, your meal prep time, your meal plan time, and personal development. Before you do that though, I know that there's people who are like, I don't have time for personal development. I don't have time to sit down and read. I don't have an extra. I get it. I completely get it. Audible. People, like, I listen to personal development in the shower every morning. If I'm at home meal prepping, I'll put on some personal development. Some people listen to it during their workouts. Some people listen to it on their commute. I know Erin, when she goes to work, she has like a 2-hour commute, I think, to and from her job or to her mom's house. She listens to PD the whole way. I think Lauren does the same thing. Think about those times where you can multitask and listen to it while you're doing it. So 7:51, I'll give you 3 minutes, get those planned in. Go. And then when you're done, just shoot me in. I know Sandra said she's done, but when you're done getting your workouts, your meal prep and planning in, and your PD scheduled, I was gonna say shoot me a thumbs up, but we're on Zoom, so you can't shoot me a thumbs up, y'all. All right, looks good. Okay, so the third thing that we're gonna do, we've got our non-negotiable scheduled in our calendar already. Our obligations. We've got our vital behaviors, working out, meal planning, meal prep, PD. The next thing that I want you to do is want you to schedule 15-minute blocks for maintenance, right? So these are the times where you're going to check into your challenge groups. So you're going to want to do like 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening. If you have a bigger challenge group, you're probably going to want to take a little bit more time. You're probably going to want to take a little bit more time in those 2 times to do it. But if you have like a small group, then just 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening is good. That's just time to check in with your challengers, check into your groups, post your own, that you did your workout in your shake. You're going to want to respond to any messages that your people are sending you. And it shows your challengers, sorry, my cat, she does this every time I do a call. This shows your challengers that you are invested in them, right? Because you want to build a relationship. Once you get a challenger into your group, once we get our challengers into our groups, we want to make sure that we are building and investing in them, because we want them to have their lives changed just like our lives have been changed, right? And so you want to make that investment. They invested in themselves and trusted you to purchase a challenge pack. Lola, please stop. So we have to make sure we're investing time back into them. So schedule that. I'll give you like a minute to put some maintenance times in, Monday through Friday. Or if you work the business 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. And I always suggest, don't work on Sundays, man. Not working on Sunday has probably been the best thing that's happened to me, because that's time where I can spend with my family. I can do any meal prep and stuff that I have to do. It's just a day for me. It's just like what we're doing right now is setting business hours, right? And so if you don't want to work Sundays, you don't have to. Like, that's the beauty of having your own business. Please, you're not going to shred anything, are you? Okay. Do you need to get back here? Okay, you can walk behind me. All right, everybody's got their maintenance times in. Any questions so far with, kind of how we're laying out the schedule? Okay, Mama, have to get off my lap. I love you, and I'll see you later, but you have to get off my lap right now. Okay. All right. All right, perfect. So we got committed times in, our workouts, meal prep, and PD in. We got our maintenance times in, morning and afternoon. Now we're going to get into the nitty gritty of getting our schedule together. And we're going to start looking at these power pockets, right? Because not everybody is going to have the same amount of time every day to focus on their business. Not everybody's going to have time to work on a focused power hour. And so you want to make sure that the times that you have, that you're doing the intentional things that are going to move your business forward. And so this is something that I learned that's been really helpful for me, and you can tweak it any way you need it. So again, I'm planning this like you're a part-time coach, just doing this for fun. If you are trying to make this your full-time gig, then you're going to want to increase these actions in these power pockets. Okay, does that make sense? So there are 5 real power pockets. 2 of them are combined on 2 days. So we'll start with the first one. Once a week, you're going to want to add to your network. Why do we want to add to our network? Anybody unmute yourselves? Why do we want to add to our network?
We need to grow who we're talking to. We need to talk to more people. That's the only way we're going to grow our business.
Absolutely. And Monica and I were talking yesterday, and we were talking, I was like, what we do, it really, really is a numbers game, because you're going to talk to people and they're going to be like, nope, not interested. You're going to burn through your warm market, which is like your family and friends and people you already know. You're going to burn through your warm market really fast, and they're going to say no to you, and you're going to have to talk to more people, right? And so building and adding to your network is crucial to what we do here, right? Because we're in the business of people. There are millions of people in North America and now the UK that have poor health, right? That not only struggle with poor health, but maybe have poor mindset, that are maybe busy, that don't know how to create the balance in their lives, and they need a sense of community, and they need what we have, right? And so we want to make sure that we're connecting with as many people as possible. So we're adding to our network at least once a week. And I'm trying to simplify it to make it really easy. So it's not something, I know a lot of the tracker sheets, when you do a power hour, they're like, take 20 minutes and, you know, invite you or add 10 people to your network, which is awesome if you have time for that. But some people just don't have time for that. And if you're trying to work a full-time job and you're like, I just need to try to fit this in where I'm at right now, then this might be a better way to help you. So what I want you to do is I want you to look at your schedule, and let's just say Mondays, for example, right? Find 45 minutes in your day on a Monday. So let's just put it on a Monday, right? Monday's a great day to add to your network, because then throughout the week, you can do the rest of the things that you need to do. So look at your Monday, and I want you to find a 45-minute block of time where you're not going to be interrupted, where it's not taking, it's not taking precedence over your committed times. And I want you to just find it and put in there, add to network on Mondays. Find a spot and go. All right, how you guys doing with that? Thumbs up, you guys doing good? Perfect. Okay, so we got our first power packet done. Mondays, adding to our network. That's all we're gonna focus on Mondays. And in that 45 minutes, and like I said, if you have more than 45 minutes to do it, schedule a couple different 45-minute blocks. Like I have 2 45-minute blocks scheduled on my Monday to add to my network. Right? I have more time. I stay at home, so I can do that, right? My business day goes a little bit longer. So then you might want to put some more pockets in there. But if you have one 45-minute, in that 45 minutes, you're just going to be focused, man, laser focused on adding to your network, right? Yes, Sandra is absolutely correct. Schedule an hour for National Wake Up Call, right? Guess what? That's your PD for the day on Mondays. It's easy. Right? It's right there, 11 o'clock Eastern. Now, adding to your network is going to be different depending on what is your main social media platform. My personal social media platform is Instagram now. I am not doing a whole bunch on Facebook. If there's people on there that I talk to, that's great, like maybe from my like page, but most of my new connections, I'm building my brand. I'm building on Instagram. It's just so much more fun. I think everybody's a little bit more laid back. Everybody, is more open. You get to really see people's personality shine in the Instagram stories. So that's my jam. I'm not going to focus on anything else but Instagram. But if you're like, my jam is Facebook, then your jam is Facebook. That's cool. Making sure that you're utilizing groups, right? Making sure that you are, like if you have friends, like mutual friends with people, and you're like, oh, like Susie is that's my girl, and she's totally my person. Like I would love to work with her. I bet you she has other awesome friends too. You know, kind of maybe going through their friends list if you can see it, and kind of, you know, adding. It's hard on Facebook because a lot of people are very private and they're very closed off. So if you're in a group, building that connection in the group first before you send them an invite is going to be important. Okay. That's why I love Instagram, because Instagram is just like click, 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 bam, everybody, you can follow them, and then you can just build from there. But to each their own, right? All right, we've added to our network. Our second power packet is going to be the hey girl, or relationship building like conversations. And so these conversations aren't going to be anything Beachbody related. These are just going to be like, hey girl, I see that you got like a beautiful dog. I don't know, maybe you're into dogs. I see you got a like awesome, beautiful Shih Tzu over there. I said Shih Tzu. Maybe you got a beautiful Shih Tzu and like your dog is awesome. Like, how do you get them to do these fun tricks, whatever. These are going to be hey girls. Your hey girls are going to be in direct personal messages. This is not commenting or liking on someone's post. That's cool. You can do that too, but those don't count as hey girls. Your hey girls are comment or sending someone a direct message. A great way to get hey girls out of the way, send somebody a birthday message. Because, you know, on Facebook, how it shows their birthdays, send them a private message and be like, hey girl, happy birthday. What you doing today? You're going to get turned up? I don't know. You know, there's so much that you can say and do. You know, what are you doing today? Ask questions, you know, be engaged. Notice something on their, you know, feed or on their profile that you like or that is conversation worthy, and talk about that with them, right? It doesn't have to be crazy. You're just starting a conversation with them. Nothing Beachbody related. Don't talk Beachbody. Just be a normal, friendly human being. I shouldn't have said normal because normal is not a good word. Typical. Just be human. Just be cool. Just be you. All right, so what I want you to do is let's do hey girls on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're going to just be strictly focusing on hey girl messages. And again, the 45-minute pockets. So take a look at your schedule on Tuesdays and Thursdays and pick one, if you have time for more than one, but at least one 45-minute pocket time where you can get at least 10 to 15 hey girl messages out there, and go. Monica said, I sent someone a congrats on having weight loss surgery today. That's my hey girl. Absolutely. Hey girl, congrats on your surgery. That's awesome. How you feeling? You know what I mean? Like things like that. People, they want you to like care. You know, they want you to care about them. They don't want you to sell them. They want you to like genuinely care about them. And that's awesome. So way to go, Monica. That's awesome. You're back on my lap. And you smell like fart. Do you need to go to the bathroom? Mm-hmm. You gotta get your nails clipped. All right. So after you get your power packet, give me the thumbs up because I'll move on from there. Sandra's got her packet. And I know there's a couple people who are probably watching this and they're like, okay, but Amanda, my schedule changes every week. That's cool, right? Like, I understand that for some people, like I know that Erin's a nurse, and so is Melissa. And, you know, I understand that not everybody's schedule is structured and looks the same every week. You're going to just want to do this a week in advance, right? Because then you know your schedule and you can plan your times around it, around your work schedule. That would just be switching up your first step, which is your obligations. All right, we got our 45-minute power packet of adding to our network. We've got 2 days of 45-minute pockets of hey girls and relationship building, right? You guys got those all in? So the next thing we're gonna do, gulp, is invites. Stop it. I'm sorry, she just bit me. Stop it. That was naughty. The next thing we're going to do is schedule invites and follow-ups. So those we're going to do on Wednesdays and Fridays. And I'll give you some examples of an invite and a follow-up that I did today that was freaking golden. And I was like, how did this happen? This is so awesome. Why did I not do this to begin with? So go ahead and look on your Wednesdays and Thursdays, get a 45-minute pocket in there of when you're going to do invites and follow-ups. So maybe you want to do invites on Wednesday and then follow-ups on Friday. You could do that. That's super simple. And one thing that I think we forget or we get really wrapped up in when we're inviting people is that we think that we have to like talk to these people forever before we invite, or we think that, you know, we have to be like, oh, I have to talk to them for a full 2 weeks before I toss out an invite. You don't have to. If you are genuinely being engaged with them, and like on those days where you're like the hey girls, you're liking, commenting on their posts, you're engaged, like you can name their kids, you know what I mean? Like you've followed them, they're like, oh, their son, Jimmy Jr. Just turned, 5, and they had a big party, and you're like, oh, hey girl, how was Jimmy's birthday party? I saw that it looked awesome. You had a great time. You don't have to wait and let the conversation kind of just drag out before you invite them. Listen, to what they're saying to you. And maybe you would even say something like, hey, Susie, Instagram stories, like if you guys aren't doing stories, I know Facebook stories are kind of harder because not everybody's on doing the Facebook stories, but if you're on Instagram and you're doing your Instagram stories, that's a freaking amazing place to just connect and conversate with people. And those are just natural, hey girl messages, right? You're looking at someone, you're seeing like who they are, you get to see their personality, someone like you're following this person and you see their story and you're like, that person is my person. Like, I love them. I want to work with them. I got to be with them. Like, I want them in my group. I want them on my squad, like ASAP. Throw out an invite, right? You can be like, hey girl, like, I know that I don't know you that well, but I've been following your story and I noticed that you have 2 small kids. And I think that's awesome. And I have a little boy too. I actually have a online accountability group that I run where a whole bunch of mamas get together and we just take some time to be a community and spend some time for ourselves so that we can be freaking even more awesome moms, you know what I mean, without stuttering and being crazy because I'm tired. But just, would it be something you'd be interested in? I think you'd love it. Would you like to rock it out with us? Something like that. It doesn't have to be so crazy where you're like, oh, I have to talk to these people forever. It doesn't have to be like that. If someone is your jam, then someone's your jam. Invite them, right? Be bold. You have something that's awesome. We have an awesome community. Maybe they don't have time for themselves. Maybe you see them and they're like rushing around life, right? Maybe I know Sandra and Monica are really focused on bariatric surgery patients, right? Maybe you'd be like, hey girl, I know that you got this surgery coming up. There's a girl that I follow actually who just had her surgery. She had a gastric sleeve. And she was talking about like how nervous she was going into it and now after, and I'm like, bro, throw that invite out there and just be like, hey, we got an awesome community here. I don't know if you've been going through this alone, but I know that for me, having a community of women who have the same mindset as I do, who are super positive and supportive, has helped me so much on my journey. I know it would help you. I'd love to have you jump in and join us. It wasn't weird. It's not salesy. Then if they want, if they want more information, you give them more information, right? You don't diarrhea, you just give them more info. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? Because I'm tired. Okay. Hooray. All right. So we got our 5 power pockets really are in now. Mondays, we're adding to our network. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're doing hey girls and just building relationships. Wednesdays, we're inviting. Fridays, we're following up. follow-ups. The money is in the follow-up. And Monica and I were talking about this yesterday, and I was like, man, how many times I missed out on getting amazing people into my groups because I didn't follow up, because I was like, I waited too long, or I just was like, oh, they said no, and I just kind of wrote them off. The money is in the follow-up. People are not going to say yes to us right away. And that's okay, right? Think about your journey when you started. Did you say yes right away? I didn't. When my original coach asked me to coach, I turned her down for months. I was like, no, I'm getting ready to get married. I really don't have time. It's really not for me. I sold our bond before. I don't like it. I don't want to stock part. I had excuses up the wazoo, right? I said no 8 million times. But she kept building the relationship with me. We stayed friends, like we were Facebook friends. We connected. We talked to each other a lot. She knew some of the struggles that I was having financially, that I was in debt. She knew, like, I participated in the groups, and she knew that I was an encourager. So she was like, you're an encourager. This is something that is perfect for you. And she kept inviting me. And one day I came back from my honeymoon and I said, I'm overweight. I'm unhappy. I saw a picture of myself. I'm broke. I don't want to be broke. I want something better for myself. All right, let's just do it, right? Keep inviting, follow up, show people that you are interested in them and that they are not just a sale. Because when you just invite someone and then they say no, and then you don't ever, like, they don't hear from you again, then they're like, the next time you pop up in their mailbox, like 6 months later, then they're going to be like, she's just trying to get at me for, like, to buy something off of her. Continue building and growing. Continue talking to them. Okay. Sorry, my phone's getting ready to die. So continue building that relationship and continue inviting them and just saying, like, hey girl, I know that, December, let's just like throw this out here. So December, everybody was like, oh, I don't have any money. It's the holidays. I don't have time for me right now. Life is so busy. Okay, here's a perfect follow-up. Hey Jane, I know that last month was so crazy busy for you, but I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about your goals, and I've been thinking about how passionate you were and excited you were about trying to get started. I have a new group coming up. I'd love for you to join in with me, and I'd love to help you if you think that I can do that. Are you ready to jump in? So easy, right? Then she feels that you care about her. You tell her, hey, I've been thinking about you. And then she's not just like, oh, I'm a sale. I'm just a person. I'm a success club point, right? I mean, they don't know their success club points, but then they don't feel like they're salesy. Does that make sense? Does that take like the pressure off of following up with people and inviting people? I hope it does. I hope it does. All right. So let me see your schedules or your piece of paper that you wrote it on. I want to see what yours looks like. I'll kind of show you. I don't know if you can see mine very well. But again, mine's going to be different because I work the business full time. And so my power pockets are kind of broken down. Oh, Monica's got like 2 notebooks. I saw Sandra's. Nice. Awesome. Perfect. Looks great. Does anyone, Lauren's got hers. Hey, Jeff in the background. Hey.
He says, hey, he's trying to be out of the way, trying to be sneaky.
I did the same thing too. He was like, tiptoe. Does anybody have any questions about, that's all 5. Yeah, Sandra, that is all 5 power pockets. Because remember, on Tuesday and Thursday are the Hey Girls. So those are 2 separate ones. And then so are the invites and follow-ups. And those are on 2 different days. Mondays, add to your network. Tuesday, Hey Girl relationships. Wednesday, invites. Thursday, Hey Girl relationships. Friday, follow-ups. Does that make sense? Anybody have any questions, any specific questions about setting up your schedule, about, what you do in these power pockets? Like, this is a great time to kind of ask anything, because you got lots of brains that are coming together where we can just kind of brainstorm and help you where you're at. I'm going to unmute everyone if I can do it from here. I don't know if I can, but I'm going to try. All right. All right.
Can you hear me?
Who's got their hand raised?
I think it's Sheena.
Is that?
Oh. Hello. Sorry, I'm not video, just audio today. Sorry. I think my question was about so I'm like making these lists of like people that I'm connecting with. Am I okay to talk?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're like making the list of like you're connecting with these people, and then do you so then when you're reconnecting with them over and over, do you go back through the list and like search for them and see what kind of new posts they have? Or do you just go like through your feed because you followed them and you see that way? Like I'm keeping track of like all these people that I'm, connecting with, but then how do I use those notes to my advantage in the future?
Right. Without having 5 million stacks of paper because you're following up with the same people over and over and building the relationship, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Great question. So what I do is I put people on 2 working lists. Once I add to my network, and this is like a good rule of thumb. I add to my network and I try to look for people who are my niche market, right? I look for people who are like me. Basically. Look for people who are like, I am like, man, I could connect well with them, and we could be friends and, stuff like that, because obviously I want to work with my friends. So I have 2 lists. I have a challenger prospect list and I have a coach prospect list. And so I'll like take one notebook paper, like a piece of notebook paper. If you guys I'm a pen and paper girl all the way, even though I have Teensy and paid for it. I'm a pen and paper girl. And I'll write one side, I'll write challenger prospects and the date, and then I'll write coach prospects. And then I just look through the people and I'll put them on either one of the lists. Once I make that initial hey girl, I just kind of check it, right? So I'll check it and that'll be like, okay, I made my hey girl, say on like Tuesday. After Instagram, you can go in and turn on post notifications or story notifications. I like to do the story notifications if they have stories and I see that they have stories on their page, because those are quick and easy things I can look at without having to scroll or go back to their feed, because it's always at the go in and I conversation. So I don't put them on another list after. I put them on a follow-up. Like I don't put them on a separate another hey. I check that I've made that conversation with them, that I'm chatting with them, and then I go from there. And most people, like, if you're still in your app, so you can always go back there and look too. But for the most part, when I'm talking to people, I just like, I think even with Monica, I would just like, I'd be like, there's Monica. Like, I just was always thinking about her. I was like, I'm gonna go check in on Monica and see how she's doing. You know what I mean? Like, what's up? Just think kind of things like that. So that's what I do. I would run out of paper. You don't have to do that. Does that make sense?
Do you make a list every day with those categories, or do you make just one list and you just keep adding to it?
It
Or do you break it by day?
I've done a couple different things. So in the Team Inspiration Google Drive, there's the 100 connections tracker. I don't know if
Yeah, I can see it.
So there's 50 people, there's 50 people on each sheet. And what I'll do is I will write them down, like say on Monday. Monday is your add to network day. I'm like, I add 100 people this week to my network. Again, so I'm going to put all those as I add my network. And each of them has a checkbox.
You're breaking up.
It has where you connect with them. and then it has a box for invite. So it's really a way to keep all your people on one sheet, and then you can mark how many times you can, and then after you say your 5th conversation, you can invite them or whatever. If the conversation is going well, you can just invite them right away. And that would save on paper. And then what I would do is get a 3-hole punch and put it in a green binder. And then all my things in here. So if I ever want to go back and all those people who know, then I can go back and put no right on there, and then they're on my follow-up every month.
And then you have your separate list with your challenger prospect and coach prospect list. Is it a separate notebook?
You could, and do the first challengers and second 50 for coach prospects. Either way you want to do it. I'm all about. But I just write on there on the top, you know, like these are my challenger lists. This is my list. The good way to get coaches that are going to stay is by challengers. That's probably the best way that I've gotten coaches, is by people who have gotten success from my challenge group. Then I convert them over to coach. They're active and participating in groups. They are sharing their journey book or already. So you're like, hey, you would be freaking awesome at this. You're already doing what I do, why not get paid for it? You know what I mean? Or maybe you have people that you follow on Instagram or on Facebook that are awesome, and you're like, hey, you do what I do. You're posting your meals, you do your workouts. Are you a coach? And they're like, no, what do you mean? I'd be like, oh, listen, you got to get paid for this. Do you know how many people that are like loving your feed right now, that you're influencing, that you're inspiring? People love. Think about how good it feels when someone tells you that you're awesome at something. You love it. You eat it. That's when people are like, oh yeah, like, oh, maybe I could be doing good at that. And then plug them into a week. Let them check it out. Tell them how awesome it is, how many awesome friends you got. Any other questions? Am I answering the questions? I hope I'm not going off on a tangent. Okay, I got Sandra. Sandra said, is that all 5 PowerPoint? Yep, okay, so we got that. All right. All right. I hope this was helpful. I hope it was a really good way for you guys to kind of break down your week, break down your business, and not feel like the business is overwhelming you. I've been doing this for almost 3 years, and I seriously have felt burnt out many a times until I actually sat down and found a system that worked for me. And you can tweak it however you want to. That's the beauty of doing it. You can tweak it. You can add in the power pocket however you want. It's your biz, ladies. You can do it. You can totally do this part and rock it out.
And one thing I'm going to add too is that, and I'm sure Amanda and Erin are the same way, we've tried a million different ways. And you're going to hear on, National Wake Up Call and on the main team page and all that, all different kinds of ways that people do it. Like Amanda says, you got to figure out what works for you. And I know, like, I've learned from Micah that simpler is better. Like, I have done it all. I've tried Google Streaks. I've tried Google Sheets. I've tried Teamsy. I've tried all these different things. I used to have like a million papers and all these notebooks, and it doesn't work for me. So you just find a system that works for you, and then when you tweak it, you tweak it. And if you want to try something new because you're like, oh, I think that'll work for me, and it doesn't work, that's okay too. It's okay to create it the way you want it. But this is a great, like the way Amanda has it laid out is a great way that I think has worked for us tremendously. The power pockets, I think sometimes you can be overwhelmed when you say like a power hour, because sometimes you don't have that amount of time. Or I know for me, I work full time, and I work a job that I don't work 8 to 5, and I don't get a lunch. Most days I'm eating at my desk or throwing food in my face so I can go to my next meeting. And oftentimes they're not even scheduled. So I can't work at work. Like, I think I can try. It doesn't work. So it's really important that I schedule those pockets, 10, 15-minute increments even from here to there. And sometimes I'll even be in the car and I'll leave for 15 minutes early, and then I'll bust out like 10 invites in the car or look at 10 stories, because you can do that super fast. So if you're at the doctor's office or anything like that, you can contact with 10 to 15 stories like in a couple of minutes, and you can get that out of the way. So just trying to make it work for you, I think, is really crucial.
And I really like the way that this system is broken down, because you're focusing on one action every day instead of trying to focus on all 5 in one day. Because it's hard to send out 10 invites in 15 minutes. Like, I tried. It's hard. You know what I mean? Like, you're copying and pasting. And if you're really trying to be genuine and make real connections and really find quality over quantity, then you're going to want to really take the time to send out a meaningful invite that's personable and that is, you know, well-intentioned for that person, instead of a cookie cutter kind of, you know, invite. So I think breaking it down and doing one focused activity a day, it's awesome. Like, I was like, man, this kind of just blows my mind, and it's been so helpful. It's been really helpful. So I hope it helps you guys. And, like, you know, if it doesn't, that's okay. You just got to find what works for you, because we're here to help. We just want you guys to rock out and be successful. So, all right.
Amanda, what did you do today that you said you were going to share with us that you wished you had done all along? Some special invite or something?
Yeah, when we were talking about when I was talking about the follow-ups, I had a girl who I had a girl who I had invited. I mean, I've invited people. It takes a lot of times. It takes like 10 invites, honestly, to get people to say yes. So that's why building and continuing the relationship is so awesome and important. Is that I was talking to a girl. She liked, or she like emojied my Facebook picture of Raphael on my Facebook stories. And I was just like, dang, girl, where you been? Like, I haven't seen you in a while. What's been going on? How's work going? Because I figured work's been busy. And she was like, girl, she was talking about her health right away. I was like, and so I said, well, hey, I got a group starting next week. Like, I know you have these goals. Like, can I help you with them? Like, let's chat. Like, fill out my challenge group app and let's revisit your goals and see if I can help you. Would you be open to that? And she was like, absolutely. Went through her goals. Bam, she's getting the 80-day Obsession All Access Challenge Pack. You know what I mean? She was like, yeah, she's ready. And she wasn't ready before. And so you just got to keep like inviting, talking to people and just loving them and being like, hey, I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about you, boo-boo. How you doing? How's life? How's your goals? I know you were really excited a month ago, but money just didn't work out. How's it working out this month for you? I'd love to help you. Just kind of things like that. Following up, important. It's huge. Huge. All right. I'm down to 10% on the phone. Boy, does it go fast when I'm doing a Zoom call. If you guys have any other questions, toss them in the threads. We'll be happy to talk about those with you. I know Monica and Sandra are doing a free bariatric group next month, right? In May. So that's next week. I don't even want to think about it. That's next week. To Be Mindset, don't forget, that is coming out on May 2nd. It's going to be a game changer. I hope that every single one of you are going to do it, whether you think you need to do it or not. It is a great way to talk to people, because it's going to get a whole new market of people, because there's a whole bunch of folks who cannot get their nutrition straightened out, who suffer from emotional eating, lots of trauma with food, lots of things like that. So this will help give them a more positive relationship with food. It's going to be awesome. All of us coaches, if you buy the To Be Mindset, one of the packs, I think we get the base kit for $99, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same thing with 80 Day Obsession. You'll get an email to be in an exclusive coach group with Ilana, which is going to be awesome because we can do that for 2 weeks. And then we're going to start our own 2B mindset group. And I know Sandra had some questions on it earlier, and I'll just touch on them real quick. If you're talking to people about 2B mindset, you can do 2B mindset with 80 Day Obsession, but I would do, if you have people who want to do 80 Day Obsession, I would have them do 80 Day Obsession for their first round with the timed nutrition. And then after they do that, then they can do the 2B Obsession. But if you've done 80 Day Obsession and you're like, I want to do the 2B mindset, do it. It's supposed to be awesome. You can incorporate it with exercise. You can do it without exercise. So I know my girl Monica is recovering from a back surgery. Praise the Lord. She is getting healed as we speak. This is perfect. This will be perfect for you. This is perfect for those people who have so much weight to lose that they can't work out, that people who hate working out, things like that. So really leverage it. And a great way to sign coaches, hint, hint, is to say, hey, you get to be in an exclusive group with Ilana, who is the creator and registered dietitian, who will walk you through this program step by step. And then you just plug her into that plug your person into that coach group, and you get coaches. So it's a good gig. Let me know if you guys have questions with that, and we'll put some scripts up for how to talk to people about that too in the threads. All right. You guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. It's like 9:30. This is like pretty good timing. You guys rock. Like I said, any questions, just let me know. I love you guys. You are awesome. See you guys later.